I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
Tevin, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 130 of the SZN Podcast. As always, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And guys, you know the rules now. Make sure you head over to SZN Pod or SZN Podcast. That link, there's a link in the bio on both of those platforms that will take you to where we're situated at streaming wise, whether it's audio, visuals, Spotify, YouTube, etc., etc. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, follow, blah 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 blah. Here we are, Flowz. I feel like the boxing weeks are coming thick and fast, but they've been quite chilled weeks, if you know what I mean. Nothing major, just small, nice little fights ticking over. I feel like we'll get into the meat of bones later on in the year. But yeah, there's still a nice fight to discuss, and that's the Wood versus Lara card that occurred last night. Actually, where my man is first, bro. Are you good? Before we get into it, we're good.
How you doing?
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah, tired, but we always got to make sure we're good. Mental all right, yeah? Ready to talk boxing?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Wood Lara. We said last week, didn't we, bro, that it was going to be... We felt like it was going to be a good fight. And I think it's safe to say it was a good fight. I enjoyed it for how long it lasted. Yeah, I think it's a shame for us because we both predicted that we felt Lara was going to get it. And the prediction came true. So it's like, okay, yep, see, we know our stuff, etc., right? But with this one, bro, despite me saying that I didn't really rate Lee Woods, or he wasn't someone that I really checked for, and I didn't consider him someone that was like amazing or anything, he was just there for me. I kind of feel sorry for him with this one, because even though we were right in the fact that Lara did get the W, and we predicted that Lara would get to him, I feel sad for Wood because, to me, he was winning the fight and he had a really good case of going on to win the fight before, unfortunately, it was cruelly stopped. And we'll obviously talk about the stoppage, etc., in detail a bit later. But, yeah, did you feel, Flowz, when it happened, when the stoppage occurred, did you feel that Wood was good value for the win? I mean, for the win, where he was winning the fight in your books? By I don't know how many rounds you had him up, but yeah, did you feel like he was the one that looked the stronger guy and was going to go on to win this fight?
I thought he was winning the fight on the scorecards. I had him up. But watching that whole fight, the whole time I was like, this ain't going the distance. In my eyes, it weren't going the distance. One of them was going to get stopped.
Yeah.
And I felt Lara was always live, even when he looked rocked, when he looked hurt. I think he was landing enough portions where I was concerned for Wood's defense. Even though he was boxing brilliantly, I was just concerned defensively that he's still getting caught in portions. And I think Lara was leaning into that in terms of, I'm just going to load in certain portions. So while I had Wood up, I still felt Lara was always live. And if he caught Wood with the right shot, he's going out. If Wood caught Lara with the right shot, he's going out. So I think watching it, it looked like Lara was fading, but at the same time, like, this guy was he's too live to me. He's a power puncher. We see them hurt people. So yeah, when you say in the ascendancy, looking like he was going to win, not quite, because I just felt Lara was still there. But if we went to the scorecards, Wood would have taken it for me.
I think for me, when I say in the ascendancy, I think it's just because, as you said, Lara always love. I think this fight is, of listeners, I think this fight is a perfect example when we say never count out a power puncher at any juncture of the fight. They're always dangerous, even when they look spent, which to me Lara did in portions. Even when they're down on the cards, when you carry power and shuddering power, which Lara does, as you've seen with Warrington and now with Wood, you always have a chance as long as you're in there and not hurt yourself. And that was this fight was a perfect example of it for me. I think if I take it round by round, Flowz, round 1 and round 2, I think I gave Lara the first 2 rounds. Wood, to me, obviously has when you look at the physical tools, he's got the physical tools over Lara in the sense that he's bigger than him, taller than him, rangier than him, better reach, etc. And I think it's fair to say a better boxer overall. I think Lara is limited. That's not me locking him, but if you look at just what he's got in his locker, it's limited compared to Wood. But I liked what Lara did in the first 2 rounds because he was stepping to Wood and just trying to, anytime he got in close, just looking to unload. And I think it was the second round where he actually caught Wood with a good combination. Actually, it was the second round when he hurt him for the first time, I think, where I think it was towards near the end of the round where he's caught him with a good couple piece combo, and Wood's looking a bit shaky. He's hitting with the big bombs. I'm there thinking to myself, oh, this is the Lara that I know. That, you know, this is the same Lara I saw dog walk Warrington, right? But I think it was from round 3 onwards where Wood kind of picked it up. And I said, to me, it was quite clear for me the keys to Wood's success in this one, Flowz. Lara, even though he's dangerous when he unloads, he's also always very open when he unloads. Really, really open. Easy to hit when he unloads. Especially because as well, Lara, if you notice, Flowz, he tends to leap into his punches. He's quite explosive with it, but he jumps in. And for me, that's, if you're a good enough counter puncher, you can see it, because we could see it. You should be able to counter him as he jumps in. And Wood being rangier, he can do that. He can just keep the control of the distance and use his jab and use his superior reach to do that and counter him. But also from a defensive point of view, because he tends to jump in, if Wood just has his footwork patterned, you know, good footwork, he can use his feet to still stay out of range and to prevent that initial jump in. So that's what I was looking for Wood to do. And he did it in some portions for us where he did really well, was when he was boxing well and kind of piecing Lara up by doing that. But he didn't do it enough. It was like on and off for him. And I thought to myself, Wood, if you just stay on your boxing, keep your feet work light and look to jump when this guy jumps in, just control the distance, etc., you can actually have not an easy night to work, but it will be, you can put rounds in the bank. And that's what he started to do. But unfortunately, it was few and far between. There were times where he was sloppy and allowing Lara to get in close to him and boss him on the inside. But yeah, I think Wood did some good things in there. And he hurt Lara a couple times. I'm trying to think which round it was. Maybe the 5th or so, where he's hurt Lara with body shot. Lara didn't like the body work. He didn't like the body work at all. And I think after round 5, he was breathing heavy because Wood, who also hits very hard himself, was banging him to the body, and he could see Lara visibly didn't like it. So I'm there thinking, look, Wood, keep going to the body. He does not like it. And Wood actually was able to hurt Lara a few times, but bro, these Mexicans, especially Lara's a beast, man. Absolute beast. Like a world warrior and dog in there. And even though he was visibly hurt, you know, the ones who just bite down in your gum shield and you go for it. And that's what he kept doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Go on.
Yeah, Wood was doing stuff in terms of, similar to the Zhu Chan performance where he was boxing. Like it weren't just desire and heart. He was trying to box. He was being smart in there, working behind the jab, trying to counter as well, waiting for what's his name, Lara, to jump in and then try to counter him over the top. He has the reach. So I was liking that style from an offensive point of view. But I felt he stood in front of Lara a bit. He was a bit too stationary in front of Lara. While he was trying to keep his distance, he weren't moving to his left. He weren't circling. He weren't making it difficult for Lara, because when Lara wants to unload, more time than not, Wood was right there in front of him. So, and I think it's because he doesn't have the footwork to be slick and get out of range when someone's trying to launch their attack or pivot left or right. And there was one time where he stepped into Lara, which I liked, because if you can't control the distance moving backwards, you can control it moving forwards, and then maybe just tie him up. There's not enough people do the whole jab and grab thing for me. It's an effective tool.
What the villainous style.
Yeah, but man, it's hit or not get hit, and you can't. No one can hit you if you step into them.
Grips them up.
Yeah. So I liked it when he done that. And it stops Lara from getting off his work. Lara finds joy where he's throwing with you. because he carries power. So if you're exchanging with him, he will eat your shots and hope to land his shots. And more time than not, he carries more power than you.
Yeah.
So that's where he finds his success. Your portions where you're willing to trade off with him, or you're standing right in front of him and he can unload on you. So you've got to get out of range and box and move against this guy, because if you're standing, he's not even like a huge volume puncher, but if you're willing to stand there in front of him, he will tee off on you. He will jump in, like you say, and boom. If he catches you one, it hurts. So you're a bit dazed, and he will follow up. So while Wood was doing things well offensively, I felt like he was getting caught too. Well, not more frequently, but it was too much for my liking. So much so that I felt Lara was always in with a chance, because
always as a puncher, you always have a puncher's chance.
And if you're a puncher who's landing punches, then
it's just so frustrating to me, because you could just see the weaknesses, the holes in Lara's game. Obviously, it's one thing seeing it and saying it, but it's different doing it. But just based on the successes that Wood was having, as you said, we kind of knew it wasn't going to go 12. One of these guys were going to stop each other. And I just thought to myself that, like, there were times when Lara wasn't even moving, no head movement, nothing, just walking forward, not even throwing, just waiting, no jabs, nothing, standing there, just waiting for his opportunity to unload. And I'm there thinking, bro, just stay on the inside and just box him off if he's going to do that. And there were times where Wood could have done that. And yeah, maybe it's a skill level that he's just not quite there yet, footwork-wise, I don't know. But I'm sure he'll be looking back on this fight and kicking himself, because he knows he can hurt him, first of all. He knows he can outbox him as well, and has the tools to outbox him. It's just putting them bitches together on the night to do it. Easier said than done, because, as you said, Lara's a monster, and he's clever, Lara, as well. Like, there'll be times when, as I said, he wouldn't be punching much, and there'll be times when he's teeing off or tries to steal the rounds, etc. He's no spring chicken. He knows what he's doing himself. I was quite surprised that, well, no, not surprised. Obviously, I knew Wood was a big puncher, but I didn't expect to see Lara's hurt as much times as I did. But that's credit to Wood's power, I guess. But my man was able to take it constantly, and this is showing power back. So fair play to him. Let's talk about. I'm trying to think of the other talking points in the round, because there was no knockdowns up until when it ended. And that was in round. Was it 10? Was it 10? Was it 7? It might have been 7.
I think it was. Yeah, let's say our facts straight. It was 10 or 6. I feel like it was 7. I feel like it was now, because it kind of came out of
7th. It was 7. Yeah, it was 7. And it kind of came out of the blue, to be fair, bro. They've both gone to punch each other. They both landed, but Lara just landed cleaner and dropped him straight away. It was a heavy knockdown as well. You got up and you could see he was wobbly legged. I was just like, wow, because it just came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Again, we're saying Wood. It wasn't as if there was a moment where Lara was pressuring or anything. They both gone to attack at the same time. Both landed, but one landed heavier. Simple. And Wood goes down, and he gets up and beats the count. And there's about 12 seconds left, if I recall correctly, Flowz. 12 seconds left at the count. 12 seconds left of the round. He's been waved on to carry on fighting, but just before they've gone to engage, Ben Davidson struck the towel in straight away. Let's talk about the stoppage, Flowz, because I think that was a huge point of contention. For you, Flowz, was stoppage too early from Ben Davidson or not?
Yes. I think it was a terrible stoppage by Ben Davidson.
Okay.
Why so? Why so? I'll tell you. I'll go for it. Mm-hmm. There's 10 seconds left in the round. It's a championship fight. You're the champion.
Yeah.
Your fighter's the champion. He's been put down. He's beat the count. And the refs waved it on. The refs allowed him. There's 10 seconds left. That's a clinch. Now, I think Ben Davidson is an attention seeker here. I'll be so real. He's an attention. He likes the limelight. He's passionate about boxing. I won't take that away from him.
And he's got a boxing brain. I'll give him that as well.
I think he's seen what the praise Babatunde got, Babatunde Ajayi, for stopping the yard fight.
Yeah.
And he thought, let me get a piece of that. Let people praise me as well.
Oh my gosh.
Because the refs allowed it to go on. 10 seconds left. At least let him sit down in the corner. Look at him. See if he can recover.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I say it's a bad stoppage is because we'll look at two examples of both of these guys in fights previously.
Yeah.
We look at Conlan versus Wood, where he got dropped in the second. He got dropped to the first round. Bad drop. He got up. He was wobbly. He was hurt. And Mickey Conlan jumped on top of him. On top of him and tried to get him out of there. Guess who survived? Lee Wood. He survived that round.
And then came on stronger.
Second round, got hurt badly, all over the place, all over the shop, wobbled. Go watch the fight. He was wobbled, legs all over the place. Survived again. So survives round one, survives round two, and goes on to win the fight by stopping Conlan in the 12th.
Yeah.
So now we've seen him come out of adversity. We've seen him be hurt. We've seen him survive. Yeah. So we know he's got that in his locker. It's not like, we don't know if he has that in his locker. Now, granted, Mickey Conlan ain't a power puncher.
I was going to say, I was going to say this context a little bit. There's a caveat we can add to it because of Lara being a deep,
Lara's a power puncher. Conlan isn't.
Yeah.
But hey, look at Lara versus Warrington. Dropped him in the 4th. Warrington was finished. Warrington was concussed all over the place, wobbly. Like one of the worst wobbly legs you've ever seen in boxing. He was all over the place, even after the bell.
Yep.
It should have been stopped in the 4th, Warrington. It should have been stopped. Warrington survived to the 9th round, bro.
Yep. Okay.
From the 4th to the 9th, he survived 5 rounds. So you actually, let me say, watch the Lara Warrington fight. There was 20 seconds left of that 4th round.
Okay.
Warrington survives without going down again, even though he's all over the place. Survives without going down. 20 seconds left. And he could see the end of the round. And he saw until the 9th round.
Okay.
Before the referee bell.
I'm gonna play, just for the sake of this conversation, I'm gonna offer pushback. I'm gonna play Angel Advocate. I'm not called Devil's Advocate because I'm no devil, I'm an angel boy. But yeah, to offer pushback on both so you said obviously, so because my initial thought reaction at the time as well was what have you done?
Yeah.
When he did get up, and obviously the towels coming, the referee's done. The referee's ended it obviously because the towels, they've rung the bell. You can see he's still incredibly wobbly, as in back. Like for a good portion, he had to hold on to the ropes for support because his legs didn't come back.
Yeah.
And as you say, even though it's 10 seconds, we know 10 seconds is enough with a power puncher. We know that. So yes, you can say that there's a high chance that he could have survived the round and maybe clinched. But we've seen plenty.
He would have survived the round. I'll say that for a fact. He would have survived the round. He would have survived it.
Flowz, we never know.
I would put money that he would have saw the end of the round.
Well, I will also
all he has to do is clinch. Yeah, but go on.
Do you think he had the wherewithal to clinch?
Yeah, we've seen it before. We've seen him survive. We've seen him be hurt, and we've seen him survive, and we've seen someone else survive.
Flowz, I hear that. I also know that we've also seen times when there's 10 seconds left and the fighter is still be able to land a nice bomb before the 10 seconds is over to end the fight. Yeah, it does happen. But yeah,
take the chance.
We take the chance. Also, I will also offer pushback on the Warrington thing. In the sense that yes, Warrington survived to the 9th, etc., blah blah. But it could also be said that I think many people in boxing believe this as well. Ever since that, Warrington hasn't been the same. Ever since that that's the genuine fact. That's a fact. Ever since that Lara fight, finished. Ever since that, basically because of that fight not being stopped, because it should have been stopped. We know it should have been stopped in the 4th.
It should have been stopped right there and then. Yeah.
Him going on, because there's a chance Wood probably would have gone on. He's a warrior, as you see. He's a warrior. He's been down before. He's proud. He's a champion. He would have tried to go on as long as he can. Warrington has never been the same ever since that Lara defeat. He fully hasn't. He's been a mess.
Yeah.
Sorry to say. As a fighter, as a prize fighter who's in his prime, Lee Wood. But Ben, I actually do think Ben did it for attention as well. I do agree. But as a trainer, you think of, I could be saving my fighter for another day here. Cool. There's a rematch clause, which we found out in the end. We didn't know this at first, but we then found out from her and afterwards that there is indeed a rematch clause. And obviously he's going to take that rematch clause. Let's be real. He's going to take that. So from a coaching or a trainer perspective, you're thinking, right, this guy bangs out. He hits hard. Look what he did to Warrington, who's ringside. We can see Warrington ringside. He's not been the same. I mean, maybe I can try and save my man for the rematch for another day, as opposed to making him go, come back or whatever, and then he might be taking unnecessary punishment for the rest of the fight. We don't know. Obviously, we don't know these things. This is hypotheticals, but that could also play in the mind. I will say that. That's the only pushback I'll offer. But
I will say,
at the time, I did think it was too. Yeah, go on. No, go on.
it was 10 seconds. I'm not even saying that, let the fight go on to 12 rounds.
Yeah. I
Sit
think
him down in the corner and look at him and have a look at him, talk to him.
It's so because
see
at first,
if he has that minute to recover.
Yeah, at first I was thinking that's ridiculous. And then I thought to myself, hang on, he doesn't look in a good way, to be honest. He's like, the fight's over and he's still holding the ropes, blah, blah, he's still wobbly legged. Maybe it was a good thing because obviously I know how hard Lara hits. But then obviously we discovered that, because I didn't take it at first, because obviously you're looking at the hoo-ha of him being dropped and stuff. But then obviously the commentary said there was about 10 to 12 seconds left. So when I heard there was 10 to 12, I said, actually, to be fair, they could have maybe let him maybe recover, see out the round. Obviously, then send him out for the eighth. And if early on in the eighth he gets hurt, he's looking messed up, then maybe throw a towel him because clearly he hasn't recovered. That's what I would have thought to do. As opposed to Warrington, where even after that fourth round, he never looked good anyways, but they let him carry on to the ninth. Yeah. And that's what really did Warrington, and the fact that really and truly that Warrington fight should have been stopped in the fourth, but cool, they let him survive. That fifth round now, obviously Warrington, if he gets hurt again, which I think he did, that's when you look to call it and think, okay, you haven't recovered in time. Just call it a day.
They kept giving Warrington chances.
They gave him hella chances. And I remember that fight. We were saying, they need to stop this. He's done. But because it's in Leeds, he's a hometown favourite. They didn't want to do that. And as you said, Warrington since then has been an absolute mess. But yeah, for me overall, I would have liked to have seen it based on the fact that it was 10 seconds. I understand it, but I like to think that in 10 seconds you can hold it. It's different to me compared to there's a big debate over Yard, but I think Yard has about a minute and a bit left. 10 seconds compared to
Yard had already been put down. He'd already been put down. He got up. They looked at him, and he was about to go down again. I remember with Yard, he was hurt in the fourth, and I was sat there watching it live saying it's over.
Yeah.
But he survived to the ninth. Yeah. Wood didn't get any chance.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, you just got dropped. Your legs not going to... it wasn't a flash knockdown. It was a big knockdown. But we've seen fighters recover.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
For me, it's just a 10 seconds thing. If it was 30 seconds, I would have said... I would have no qualms with it. I think 40 seconds, cool. But the fact that it's 10 seconds to go, I'd like to think that he would have seen that about 10 seconds. Or maybe get dropped again. And obviously, if he gets dropped again, like say on 5 seconds, that's him finishing the round. If he gets up, that's him seeing out the round. So, he could have taken a knee basically to waste the last couple seconds. Could have done that maybe. Ben Davidson, he's very polarizing, isn't he, Flowz? Because obviously we've had people in this pod come on here before and say that they're not really the biggest fan because he doesn't grow with fighters. He just inherits them, can always come out of nowhere kind of thing. I think he's got a very sound boxing mind. He does know his boxing. But I question him as a trainer. Obviously he had success with Fury, but Fury then went on to Sugar Hill Stewart and achieved much greater things. Who else? I can't remember who else. I know he works with different people in camps. I know he's worked with Haney. He's worked with quite a few, but I don't even actually know who he actually, apart from Lee Wood, who does he train full time?
He's always in and out, isn't he?
That's the thing. He's not. Yeah, he's always in and out. I feel like.
Yeah,
I can't think of who he actually does full time.
I can't think of it off the top of my head in a minute, but I know he does have a few people. And yeah, I can't question his passion for the sport. He definitely has that. I give him a lot of credit with bringing Fury back from the dead.
Yeah,
for saving Fury's life, essentially.
Yeah.
But in that situation there, I just feel he's going to have an IFL interview and talk about I care about the fight. Stop it, because he was Tyson Fury's coach where Wilder sent him to sleep, and
he didn't jump in then.
Fury got up
the last round.
Yeah. Fury got up from the dead. Lee Woods was getting beaten to put pillar to post in the first 2 rounds by Mickey Conlan.
Yeah. So
your fight is capable of surviving, but I'm sure he saw what Tunde Ajayi was like. I'm going to do that.
It was so quick as well. Like, the thing is, that was the only knockdown, and that was of the fight. Like, just from that one, maybe if it was 2 or whatever, or boy, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Lara was a puncher, but we've seen Warrington. He had Warrington no legs. Warrington was levitating. And he survived to the end of the round.
They should have stopped that real quick because It's cooked Warrington for it, you know. He's cooked, man.
He was 10 times worse than what Lee Wood was.
Wobbly. Yeah.
Lee Wood would have seen out the rest of that round. Let's not act like, oh, Lara is just going to pull him and land a punch and put him to sleep. We've seen him survive before. He could have, but we've seen, from what we've seen, based on the evidence of the two fighters that we've seen, that suggests to me Lee Wood would have survived. And when 10 seconds isn't going to be sustained punishment, it's probably going to be 1 or 2 shots, which he'll likely evade, he'll clinch, he'll grapple, he'll wrestle. That's a little takedown, and then the man spit out your gum shield. You would have had a minute and 10 seconds to recover. And if he wanted to do the spit out gum shield or forget his gum shield at the start of the round, even extra. I think he deserved that as a champion in front of his home crowds, not to be robbed of that moment. He's a fighter. Fighters take punches. Fighters have been hurt before. Yeah. Let's not act like, this sport isn't boxing where they get hit. Yeah. I hear what people talk about protecting, but this is a championship fight. No fighter anywhere would want that to be stopped. I could tell he was livid with Ben, to be honest. I could tell he was livid. You could tell he was not happy at all. Like when they said, your coach felt you could have gone on, what do you feel? He's like, of course I could have. He was like, of course, yeah. I was ready to go, blah, blah. So I could tell he was livid. Winning the fight I would be surprised if we suddenly see Ben's not in the last one. I just know he sacked him. I just know. But let's give some credit to Mauricio Lara, bro. We said he's a dog. We said he's a monster. Like I said, he might not be the most technical. He might not be the best boxer. But he comes to fight. He doesn't care, home or away. He said the UK is his second home. He just he's someone that just believes, kind of like what Wilder had, in the sense that Wilder was like, I don't need to be good at boxing. I don't need to win rounds. I just need to catch you once and I'm going to win. He has that same kind of aura. Obviously, he's not as bad as Wilder in terms of as a boxer, but it's that kind of, I believe in this power. I know when I catch you, which I will, you're going to struggle to survive. You're going to struggle to deal with it. And he was, like I said, he was getting pieced up in that fight in portions, but he was always live with the fact that he always was able to throw when he could, and he didn't go down. You have to really get to him first in a bad way before he gets to you. He's tough, man. He's a tough night for everyone. And I was really surprised to see him favourite on the bookies, because I thought Wood would be favourite, like overwhelming favourite. But yeah, man, he likes eating Englishmen, clearly. Shout out to Wood for taking that fight. There's absolutely no need to be taking that risk. Voluntary defense against, and you're the underdog in a voluntary defense in your hometown. Big balls on Wood. And once again, we got to give credit to his rise, because he's showing us he's got ability. Like legit. Credit to Wood. You know, I did say I wasn't mad at that. I give him props, man. I really do. Yeah, like he's been impressing us with each. Like the Zhukan one was mad impressive to me. I was like, no way, this is just the same Lee Wood. Yeah. But yeah, Lara, to me, I don't even think it was an impressive performance. I legit think that was his game plan after a certain point. Like, look, but it wasn't impressive. I was more impressive Lara against Warrington. He was better against Warrington than he was against Wood, in my opinion. But Warrington was feeding into what he wanted. Warrington's coming forward. Like Warrington was piecing him up early on as well. Yeah. Warrington. Remember, we know he always starts fast. Yeah, but he was just like, if you want to swing, I'll swing the same time as you, and let's see who hurts you. Yeah, and that's how he hurt Warrington. That's how he hurt Woods. He's happy for you to come forward and try to swing with him, and he will catch you. He knows he's got the power to catch you. So he was just conserving his energy, waiting for portions to unload. Stay away from that boy, man. Stay away from Lara. I was going to say, because Warrington was there ringside causing the ruckus. I think he tried to get involved or whatever. Warrington, you're going to sleep again. So I suggest you just, you're fully going to go to sleep again. That's a fact. I promise you that. Stay away from it, man. What do you think? Do you think Wood should, there's a rematch clause? Do you think Wood should take it? Would you like to see the rematch? Yeah, I think Wood should take it. I think so too. I think he can do it. If he works on the footwork, it's tough. It's tough, but I think he's got the capability. I'm not saying he would, but I think he's got the capabilities of doing it. He could do it, but I fear he's got more of a chance than Warrington. I promise you that. He does. Way more of a chance than Warrington. I just think your chin doesn't get better once you've been dropped a number of times. Your chin ain't gonna get better. True. Like he's seeing that what his power can do to your chin. So he might even. I think Lara will try and improve more on his performance. I think he has the ability to better that
to
performance.
get better. Oh no, yeah, I agree. It wasn't his best
Because
performance.
he was. It was almost like, but I guess
Bro,
I don't know.
no, bro, he wasn't jabbing, and he was. It was just at times he was just walking forward or just being stationary. I thought to myself, what's this guy doing? You're getting pieced up, but in the end, we won. So I guess he can't really chat too much. He's a beast, man. Lara is a real beast. It's so funny because he's come out of nowhere. He actually has come out of nowhere. We were saying, where did Hearn find this guy? Then we saw him destroy Warrington. We thought, my goodness, yo, who is this guy?
Quickly. I saw people saying, "Oh yeah, Hearn's lost enough." You guys don't know Hearn don't lose. Lara's his fighter.
Hearn signed him ASAP. Yeah, man, you can ride the Lara trade now. Interesting guy. But yeah, no, shout out to Wood, shout out to Lara. Enjoyable fight. I did enjoy it. So shout out to both of them warriors. And I would like to see the rematch. Hopefully they get the rematch over the line. Again, it won't be going 12 for the rematch, I don't think. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Flowz, there isn't much on next week. There's one major fight which I think we're gonna have to talk about. We tend to try and stay away from the YouTube boxing, but I actually don't mind talking about it on this tab, because obviously the Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight is finally happening after like 5 times they tried to make it, and Tommy's pulled out a couple times, etc., etc. I just want to say this, Flowz. Tommy Fury, if you don't beat Jake Paul, you have to retire from boxing. I don't want to see you in the ring ever again. And that's a fact. That is factual, Flowz. He has to retire. I actually think Tommy will win. But I would love to see Jake Paul do it. I would love to see Jake Paul do it. He has to. No, Flowz. I'm not being harsh, man. He has to retire. He actually does.
Well, his family said they disowned him, so he has to do it. Yeah, it's peak.
Hey, we keep saying Jake Paul's better than a lot of people. People don't realize Jake Paul's a lot better than what you think he is. He trains like a boxer. He is a boxer. What make of you of this whole? It's a joke. To you, it is a joke. But obviously, the winner gets top 15 ranking in the WBC. Trust the WBC. It's always Mauricio Suleiman. Always on this thing, man. Always. Can you imagine, folks? WBC was the most respectable division. I mean, no, organization out of all of them.
Yeah,
it was the gold standard of all the boxing organizations. But they're a farce now. Suleiman's a joke, man.
It's a business for these man. That's what it is. Look, whatever. If top 15 ranking, whatever, it doesn't mean anything to me. All this stuff, it's not important. As long as we get the fights we get, as long as the top guys are fighting each other.
Yeah.
Jake Paul isn't going to fight anyone in the top 15. Of course not. Of course not. So it is what it is. I've given Jake Paul credit on this pod. I'll say he's a boxer. He's a legit boxer. I think that's fair to give it to him because a lot of these pro boxers are trash. He's better than what 70% of them probably in his weight division.
As you said, all the opponents of Tommy's fought, Jake would beat. He can easily get himself as a professional boxer, get himself like a 20-0 record of boxing.
50-0.
50-0 of straight boxing.
Easily.
Yeah.
He can easily be 50, he can be 100-0 if he wanted to fight pro boxers in his weight division.
Yeah.
Fight what pro boxers do all the time. You fight 1-3 times. Yeah. That's a loser record. That's never won.
Yeah.
You'll fight another one who's lost 50. Easy. He can be 100-0. So let's not act like the gold standard is fighting a pro boxer. Well, that's the requirement. No, it's not. Pro boxers be fighting food all the time.
Yeah.
So I will say Tommy Fury has to win.
Has to. He's got no choice.
He has no choice. Like, look, he has to win. Like, there's no excuse.
I don't want to see if he doesn't win, he can't set foot in the ring. He actually does. Yeah, the family's obviously I know they won't disown him, but for real, he has to drop the Fury name. Call him. Yeah, he's gonna have to take his Molly May's name, Tommy Mayos. I don't know. Take her name because he can't. He can't. Do you think he'll win?
Tommy Fury. Yeah. I just think he has to. I just think it's not that.
So you don't even care.
Yeah, I don't care like that. But what I will say, if Jake Paul does win, I don't want people moving the goalposts and saying,
they will.
Because they're already doing it. They're already trying to say Tommy Fury is not a real boxer. This is a Fury guy. What's
I thought you were going to say this. Say he's not a real... I think we're gonna say Tommy Fury's not a real Fury. Fake Fury.
They're already picking Jake Paul to win. They say, all right, the Furies are fighting men, aren't they? They've been fighting in the womb. That's the way they talk. Tommy Fury's had an amateur background. He's been boxing.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse.
He has to win. He has to. After all this talking as well, after all that tearing shirt, blah blah. Because hey, the corn from Jake as well is gonna be hilarious. So he better not win. He better not lose.
Give Jake his flowers if he does win. He's beating an undefeated fighter, undefeated and a Fury.
And the thing is, Flowz, he shouldn't win. If you look at the dimensions, it's like all in look, Tommy's a big guy. It's all in his favor. So he actually has no right to win. So that's what will make it even sweeter if he does. But I actually do think Tommy should take it. I believe it. Yeah, to be fair, I just want to see. I want him to lose. I can't lie. I want Fury to lose. I think it'd be so funny. So funny. We can't talk about the card without talking about the actual boxes on the card. I say there's a world title fight on the card, which is a good one to tune into, I guess. Badu Jack still going, Flowz. He's challenging Ilunga Makabu for his cruiserweight title. Man, Jack's been around for such a long time. I kind of felt like he should have called it a day maybe a while ago, but he's still trudging along. Be interesting to see if he can grab this belt. It'd be a nice one for him. But I think Badu Jack is kind of past it now, which is a shame because he's someone that's obviously been off the back of some rough decisions over his career. Was a great boxer back in the day, a real good boxer, but I feel like Father Time's caught up to him now.
Yeah, he's finished. The last performance I saw, I think, was on AJ's undercard, or maybe he's then.
Yes,
he looked terrible.
Decision against he didn't look good at all. Yeah,
he looked terrible. He's up at cruiserweight now. This is what his third weight class he's moved up.
Yep.
Yeah, pack it in. I think Makabu's fantastic, but I just think, he's washed now. Jack, it's just a shame.
Yeah, shame, but Father Time comes for everyone. We'll see how he does. Makabu's beatable, but I don't know. I question if he's beatable at this age for Badu. Yeah. But yeah, that's it really, guys. I think we can call it a day there, Flowz. This has been episode 130 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Cam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
As always, make sure you check us out on all the streaming platforms. Peace.
You taking a strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.